We're going.
All right, so for starters, tell me your name, your identity, a little bit about what you do.
All right, I'm Antwon Shelton. My identity is I'm bisexual. I came out probably last year thanks to all the Wampa events. And
Yeah.
my first queer poem is what is it called? Leave the jaw on the floor. It's the Q acrostic, the
Right.
alphabet series that I did. And I'm an artist, an author, and a veteran. I served like 2008 to 2016. I was in Pennsylvania for like 6 years, and I came back here. And ever since I reached out for like book clubs and other poetry events, I wound up connected with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have two published books. It's Mental Mosaic and Emerging Identity. And Mental Mosaic is a memoir, and Emerging Identity is a collection of 88 poems. I was born in 88.
Cool.
Numerology.
Right, yeah. So you, I think there's a few things that all feed into your art at the same time, right? Like there's, you have, is it bipolar and also...
Yeah, schizoaffective.
Schizoaffective. I always get all the different like versions of the schizo...
Yeah, schizophrenia and bipolar.
Yeah.
One. So I experienced more mania than anything else. Like
How
I had a
long-
manic episode a couple weeks ago.
How long has that been something that you were aware of?
Probably since like childhood, but I didn't know what it was called.
Right.
Like my brother got shot when I was 8, and I would I'd look into the sky and see him like Mufasa, but I didn't tell anybody that. They thought I was insane. I was like 9, 10 years old. So I got diagnosed like 10 years ago.
Wow. So for your whole life, you were seeing really vivid hallucinations and and you knew that you couldn't tell anybody about it?
They think I was insane. I mean,
right, yeah, totally.
Well, then I had stoner friends in high school who were like, yo, man, you're not cool unless you're doing the weed, like the Percocet or the Adderall or the damn Salvia. I was like, Salvia? Who does Salvia? I had a friend who was in everything, like every drug. And I'm like, I already see, I'm like, Salvador Dali, I am drugs. I can see melting clocks without taking nothing.
You grew up in Veneta, right?
Yep. Small town, hour north of Tulsa. Our biggest claim to fame was the biggest McDonald's in Eastern State, which was a psych ward that my mom used to work at. She worked there like 20, 30 years.
I know the McDonald's. It was the one that stretched over the
over
road,
44,
right?
Yep. It's still there, but now there's a Come and Go or Maverick and Subway. There's a gift shop.
Cool.
We used to have arcades when I worked. That was my first job.
So when did you start really leaning into working on like art and poetry and writing and stuff?
I mean, since I was about 5, like I wrote a poem about it. Actually, next Wednesday, the 25th, is a Clubhouse art show. So shameless plug. It's 5 for members and 10 for non-members. So I will be selling art and performing a couple poems. But I wrote a poem called "Not So Fine Arts," which is like in defiance of the uppity arts stuff.
Right. Yeah.
No. Go ahead. That's Anna Marie. Come on. Let me put on silent. We got silent this week, so I got 16 minutes.
Actually, thank you for reminding me. I need to put
I
my
didn't
own
expect you
on
to
airplane
call.
mode.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the art, it's been a long time. Before I even knew what coping skills were, I mean, I was like, it's under my bed, actually. What's it called? I did like Daffy Duck, like to Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Pokemon to Dragon Ball, Digimon. Like I would just I'd record the episodes, pause the tape. Then I'd try to draw them, but I lost a lot of the old drawings, but I still have the Looney Tunes.
So you were, in terms of coping mechanisms, you use your art as a coping mechanism now?
Yeah, definitely.
How long, at what point did your art go from something that, you're just really fascinated with to, the thing that you feel called to do with your time?
Well, that's my numbered notebooks that I started 10 years ago. That's because I didn't have canvases, I didn't have paintbrushes, I just had a pen and a pad.
Yeah.
And that was the bare necessities that I needed. And I was evicted, from a slumlord. It was in Pennsylvania. I was homeless. I had suicidal ideation. It was only ideation because I thought, my friends, my family, they would be crushed, if they found out what happened.
Mm-hmm. Right. What branch of the military did you serve?
Army Reserves. So that means basically a weekend warrior.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they call us. So I would have to do monthly, meetings, and then also yearly trainings where they would give active duty pay, and I'd go to different states. And I was a cook for 6 years, and then civil affairs is it's a middleman for a humanitarian type of. It's a really nice job, but you have to mostly go overseas to do. I think they helped out Hurricane Katrina. My cousin says, yeah, I knew some civil affairs back then, but they're really, it's close to the Peace Corps in the Army. That's basically what it is.
What made you join up?
It's hard. College money, mostly.
Sure, right.
Like, I didn't do it because my mom and my dad were in, but my dad was like, he was AWOL. Like, we were in Vietnam. He didn't like it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
He wasn't. That's how I learned about schizophrenia, because he told me, he's like, yeah, they tried to give me these medicines. I didn't take them. I'm like, that explains a lot now.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know that until recently.
So your dad is the one that you inherited the schizophrenia
and my sister did research into it too. She's like, yeah, it comes from your dad's side of the family. Even though my grandma Hazel, who passed away before I was born, she was in Taft, which is all black town psych ward, Oklahoma for like a year. I'm like, I can't imagine.
Is she on your dad's side, or is that
that's my mom's side?
So you might have gotten it from both parents.
I have no idea.
The way that genes work, like sometimes it skips a generation.
It's possible.
Yeah.
No, my sister is pretty sure it's my dad's side, because grandma, that's a couple generations back, because that's my mom and then her mom. But dad, he's direct. That's a direct descendant. I have a picture of him back there in the other room.
How did so by the time that you were actually in the Army and like basic training, you were still experiencing these hallucinations. Had you been diagnosed with anything when you were actually in the Army?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't until, let's say, I joined 2008, and there was like more. It wasn't visual. It was more auditory from, like, I don't know, drill. Just hearing drill sergeants like, "But hurry up, private!"
Even when there was no one around.
Yeah. It was like their voices like stuck in my head. And
that sounds really stressful.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
How did it impact?
But I was 19, so it's like I was kind of already, like, I knew who I was as a person, and they weren't going to change me. Like, some kids are like 17, 18, and they're just, well, I'm doing the Army, find out who I am. Like, I already know who I am. Like, I was writing and drawing in basic training. They were like, hey, our platoon was called like 3rd Platoon Terminators in Fort Benning, Georgia. They changed the name to something else now. But like, they're like, oh, draw like a Terminator thing, and they asked for like a skeleton or something. I drew a skeleton with like some shield or sword or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, I wish I had those drawings. I wrote a poem called Insurgents, which was inspired by Flowbots. Flowbots actually kind of, that's how I learned about their first album, Fight with Tools. It's very like, I felt like Next Step of Rage Against the Machine, but like not as heavy. You heard of them? Remember I could ride my bike with no handlebars?
Yes, I know that song.
Yeah, it was big, but the album I love.
So when did you come to terms with your sexuality? Or rather, when did you start to notice, maybe before you came out to yourself, that there was something else going on under the surface? Other than like...
Well, I had one gay friend in high school. His name was Bruce. And okay, Vanita is, Baptist. I grew up to be a Baptist, so mostly, a lot of churches. So when he came out, I was like, I'd be careful, dude. Like, you'll cause some trouble. So I didn't really think nothing then. It wasn't until I was in Pennsylvania that my friend Philip was a roommate. He was like, oh, I think you're kind of cute. Would you kiss me? And I was like, go shave. And he went and shaved. He came back. How's the kiss? Like, I was joking. And I was like, oh, okay, he looks kind of cute. But it's like, I kind of kept it under the wraps because there was a lot of people around who were sort of anti-gay. And so I didn't feel comfortable in my queerness until I really met y'all, man.
Right. But so, like, it's...
So I keep everything under wraps.
It's that, like, dynamic where there's a part of you that is still, like, noticing men and noticing people who aren't women, like, in your world. And, like, but just not really processing what that means until you're in a place in your life where you're like, oh, this means something. This is like a part of me.
Well, I have my DVD collection. I wish I had The Wood. There's Taye Diggs. He's a black actor. He's usually bald. I don't know what you're talking about.
The name rings a bell, but I don't know specifically.
Well, there's a movie called The Wood. It's about they live in Inglewood. They grow up as teenagers until they get old enough to get married. And I was just like, Taye Diggs, that's a good looking man.
Yeah, right.
But I had to keep that to myself. I couldn't tell my stepdad, my mom, none of that. Because, like, even my dad, he's like, oh, I think, when I went to Seattle, I think that there's too many gays in town. I think I'm going to catch it. I'm like, Dad, it doesn't work like that.
It sounds like...
But he's like 74. He's going to be 75 in August.
Right. How has your... Like, I've heard from a lot of people who are bisexual that they really feel like not as much like a part of the queer scene, or really what I interpret to mean, like, a lot of bisexual people have often told me that they don't really feel quite as flamboyant as other gays. They don't feel like...
No, I'm not that
like, super prideful, not, like, bright and bouncy and rainbow.
I mean, I guess that's not really... I mean, I was going to do this drag queen Halloween thing, but that's just because I've seen other people do it. I think it would be fun, but... But yeah, I guess I'm not really as bright and as colorful. I guess because it's like I had to be in the closet for a while, and like I have a lot of family that are anti-queer, so
Right.
yeah, it's kind of makes it hard for me to really just be like, yay, I'm proud. Hey.
Totally right. In a vacuum, without any of that, do you think that might be who you are, like internally?
Oh, just the loud and proud of it.
I'm just like genuinely, and it's not that you have to be that way. I'm just curious, like how much of your current like kind of chill and laid back guy like lifestyle is something that you grew up with, and how much of it is just naturally the way that Antwon is.
That's all I need to answer. I'm trying to see the time. Where's it at? This one. Year 12. Okay, never mind. We're going to go later because I don't like the thing. So how much of me the laid back? Because it took. I mean, when I was going through all the suicidal ideation and homelessness, and that's what my first book is about. Is just going through purgatory and elemental illness. And you know what phantasmagoria is?
No.
Well, it's really it's a PC game, but it's also when you can't tell the difference between reality and dreams and night. They all blend together.
Yeah, right.
That's what I wrote about. Like I'm in a hospital and there's like people playing arcade cabinets, but they die when they lose the game, and then they do laps around the hospital and people come back alive.
Was this before the army?
No, that was wild. Yeah, there was a military police. Like, I had a mental breakdown like 2014, 2013, I think. Wow. No, I was diagnosed 2014. That's when I was admitted to the psych ward.
So while you were in the army, you had a mental breakdown that landed you in a psych ward? What?
Yeah, actually, it was a year after I had the breakdown. I should have gone in sooner.
What was happening that made what was your state at the time?
We were just doing like a train. There's a Fort Indiantown Gap is a base in Pennsylvania. I don't think it was by Harrisburg or not. So we were just doing like combatives training, which I basically just wrestling techniques. I'm more of a boxer, so I didn't like it. So we were taking a break for lunch, and then I just go to the PX, that's Post Exchange. Basically, it's like a convenience store / Walmart where they have the Army Times. And I get pulled over by these military police, and they just accuse me of being a criminal. I wrote about this one. It's called, what's it called? Must Face It, I think. So I talk about how I was like 15, I got harassed by police, and then 10 years later, when I was 25, that's what happened in the military. Military police are the worst. So they accused me of being criminal. They said I didn't pay for the car. They said I stole it. I showed them my title and registration and everything, and they still impounded the car. That was my first car. I was like 19, 20.
Were they profiling you?
Yep.
You think, because you were black?
In uniform. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just some racist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was some bullshit.
What year was this?
This is like 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013.
So how did that go to a mental breakdown?
Well, once I got my car, I snapped. I was just screaming, crying, banging on the freaking steering wheel, honking.
That's so scary.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I actually took it out of the book because it was too much.
Yeah, totally. I
was like, I didn't want to write about it.
So what happened after that? Did you?
I lost my car.
Oh my god! They took your car away?
Yeah, I got they gave me a couple $100 for it. I was pissed.
On what grounds?
I don't even remember. It's too hazy. It's too stressful.
That's fine. We can move past it. I'm just so fascinated by that story. So
it's horrible. I had a '97 Buick LeSabre. I got it from my cousin Stan.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he was National Guard for 20 years. He has been to Afghanistan multiple times. He can speak Dari. Mm-hmm. I think that's the language they speak. I knew some Farsi while we were training. That's what they speak in Iraq, but I don't know. I just remember Inshallah. That's about it. I used it in one of my poems, the ones I were doing about the Arabic.
So what happens after that? You end up in the psych ward for a little while.
That's a year later, though, because I just had doctors that were diagnosing me, trying to figure out what I had. And they said bipolar 1 or 2 or ADHD, and so I took Adderall. That backfired. That made me insane.
After getting after the whole situation with the Army police, what happened for that year?
That whole year, I mean, it was just up and down between taking different medication. No, you take different medications, self-medicating with alcohol, which I shouldn't do.
Oh sure, yeah.
But that's what I did because I would tell them about the side effects, and they're like, "Oh, I don't care about the side effects. Take it anyway." And I was just when I'm with Adriana, we were together from 2009 to 2016, so that's 7 years.
Yeah.
So it's she was a good support, kind of, but she also was a double-edged sword. She'd support me one way, and then she didn't like the book. She read part of it, some of the stuff I was writing, because my writing, that's what saved me. If I didn't have those notepads over there with the numbers on it,
yeah.
That and my mom and dad sending me money for phone and what else was the other thing? Bus pass.
Were you still in the Army after that, or was that?
Yeah, that was 2016. Yeah, 2008, 2016, the Obama years. It was an accident. Right. I didn't know he was going to be elected. I didn't. I was in basic training. We were in basic training. George was like, Private, you ain't got to just eat. You ain't got time to watch these elections. Like, you got to do an absentee ballot. And they ran out of absentee ballots. So that was my first time to vote, and I was old enough. I couldn't do it.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yeah, I see Obama, McCain, or whatever, and they're like, hurry up. 5 minutes, go.
Right.
Like,
so after, like... So then it's a year later, and you're in the psych ward, and you're finally, like, how did it feel to finally...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
How did it feel to finally be able to attach, like, a label to these things that you've been experiencing for so long?
I mean, in high school, I had a psychology class, so I learned a little bit more about the things. And that's why, RSU, it's paperwork somewhere around here. I was a psychology minor and an English major because I wanted to get better at writing and be an author, because I was like, I've always thought about doing that. Let me just try it. And I had a psychology minor because I wanted to understand my brain and other people, with similar issues better.
Yeah, right.
Because I felt like, genealogy, my mom was really into for over 20, 30 years. And the more I learned about my other family, it's like, I could trace the steps of where things came from and patterns and everything.
So you really did a lot of that legwork yourself.
Well, with the help of my mom.
Right.
As far as, because she was for the genealogy. I helped her with it. Like, she has big records. Well, they're on the flash drives over there. But
so by the time you were actually in the psych ward, was it? It sounds like it wouldn't have been that much of a surprise.
No, I was drugged up a lot of times. They went from like paranoid schizophrenic to just regular schizophrenic to bipolar with psychotic features. It went all over the place. That's what I talk about in my book.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to buy it off of Amazon or whatever website, you could just go to my YouTube and listen to me read it for free.
Cool. So how much do you think that your blackness as a person has affected the way that you have been dealt with by the mental health world, if at all?
I mean, I don't think, if I look at a lot of black art or authors, I think, what do you have, Sister Soldier was the coldest winter ever or something, or The Invisible Man or Ralph Ellison.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had that book. She had a lot of different black authors, and I don't think a lot of them were probably talking about their mental health or illness or any of that. So I feel like I had kind of a unique niche or area to write about. Because even on the back of the book, I said I was inspired by Reality is Broken, which is about gaming. That also helped me from either community of gaming friends and playing with other friends and other people. And then Madness of Bipolar Life, which was by Maria Hornbacher. And that was her experience with bipolar, whatever. She might have about 2, I can't remember, because I had the book and I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the juxtaposition of those 2 books is kind of where we meet between gaming and mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I reference about 20 different games, but some of them were obscure Japanese ones that I wanted to translate.
You're a child of the 80s, right? How old are
roughly,
you?
Yeah, 36.
You're 36?
Yeah, at the end of 88. So that's why my poetry is 88 poems.
So you're definitely you're an older millennial.
Yeah, I feel the generation.
Yeah. So you're definitely in that place where by the time that technology was starting to get really smart and the internet was starting to really start to work its way into all aspects of life, you would have grown up in a more analog environment.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I collect feathers. I have feathers somewhere. I collect feathers from birds. I had rocks. I mean, sure, I thought my brother got the Super Nintendo. My sister says, no, I bought it. We talk every Thursday. So I'll talk to her later today. She's like, yeah, I bought it. Because she's a lab tech. She's been doing that for a long time, and she's much older than me. You said elder millennial, the intersection of technology, right?
Well, yeah, and specifically, I've noticed that a lot of your work really dwells on Japanese culture, video games, music and stuff that really feels like that I guess to use consoles, pre GameCube, pre Game Boy Advance.
Well, yeah, my cover of my book is Super Nintendo. That's where it all started for me.
Right.
And that's my second favorite generation of gaming. My favorite's probably the PS2 era, because I felt there was a good variety of things by the time I could understand how complicated RPGs were, and I really started liking those.
It sounds like in addition to music and writing and art, video games were a huge coping mechanism for you.
Yep. Before I even knew what coping, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, right.
My final memory with my brother that was positive is he was like, hey, we're playing Donkey Kong Country 2. And obviously, he's on the final boss of Donkey Kong Country 2. He's like, can't be, little bro. You think you got it? And it's yeah, no problem. So I was paying attention to the patterns. And I was like, yeah, I think I got this. Okay, dodge these cannonballs here. jump over that, and then like I did it, and it was a good memory. It was exciting. So I think it just restarted.
Yeah, that's perfect. You mind if I ask how your brother got shot? You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, it's there's 25 years ago. There's enough time has passed. Actually, it'll be 30 years actually in 2 years. So it's like 28 years. I wasn't there. I mean, my mom was like, okay, well, he was celebrating with his wife. They eloped in Miami. Because he told me first, like, don't tell anybody we're getting married. But it's going to be low key. Because they weren't trying to save money. My brother was a nurse. Yeah. And I forgot what his wife did. I think they might have both been nurses. And mom said he was trying to go to college, probably at NEO, I guess, because that was the closest one. He used to work at Sonic. He had the Sega channel, which most people probably don't remember. It was basically like the Xbox Game Pass, but in the 90s, it was a cable service.
Oh, wow.
So you paid Sega like a little cable hookup, and you had access to all the Genesis games.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could do that with cable. That's
crazy. Sega was ahead of their time, but they made a lot of bad mistakes, like Dreamcast and Saturn. Yeah. But anyway, so back to what we were talking about.
We were talking about your brother. And
so basically, when he was celebrating the marriage, I guess they were like, it was called Bowling Springs or something. It's on the outskirts of Bonita. It doesn't exist anymore. Getting sheer about shootings in Bonita is very, very small town, like 6,000-7,000 people. Mm. It's not, it's all just going to happen all the time. You might not even hear about it in the news, but it happens. But very rare for it to happen. And my mom comes into the door. She's like, oh, your brother, he's bleeding from the heart. We don't think he's going to make it. You want to come see him? I ran crying into my room and just black voided. I don't know, everything else I don't remember after that. Wow. I remember teleport to the funeral wearing a suit, just more crying. Then he's up in the sky, Mufasa style, and I don't even remember what his voice sounds like. Yeah. But my mom, I saved her voicemail, so I remember her voice sounds like.
Wow, it sounds
like he's right there. Football.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. I'll hold it up to the camera. Yeah. What was his name?
Ronnie Shelton.
Ronnie Shelton. There he is.
Junior. Yeah, he's a junior.
Ronnie Shelton Jr.
Yeah, senior was he was a staff sergeant in the Army, but he cheated on my mom. Senior did. So he was a good man. Yeah. He was a good man. He played saxophone too.
Cool.
He's one of the reasons why I like jazz so much. Played saxophone, Little Boys II Men.
It sounds like he was a really big role model for you growing up.
Yeah, I didn't even care about kids my age. I wanted to be friends with his friends. I didn't even care about kids my age.
So jumping forward, because we're kind of working through your
childhood,
but past the childhood, jumping forward to so after you're in the psych ward, when does homelessness become a factor in your life?
The homelessness was the end of 2015 after the car wreck, because I got in this car wreck where my femur was broken. And Adriana, she tried to take me back to the apartments. It was a lot of stairs. It was a pain in the ass to get up those stairs. I was screaming it's so much pain. I don't know. I think I had a walker at that point that I bought from the hospital because I had no insurance. $50 there. I'm like, all right. So I'm just like, here we go.
Wow. Yeah.
It took 3 months to be able to walk without help. So the homelessness, was basically after I snapped on Adriana, and I had the cops right here voices. Because the voice, they used to be real deep, kill this bitch and throw her body on and down the hill. She'll never find her. It was bad back then. But now all I hear is my mom saying, you got it, son. Keep going.
That's such a huge development.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. When did the transition from voices being mostly negative to voices being mostly positive?
It's probably maybe a year after my mom passed, basically because it had the closure. I was in the room when she passed away.
Yeah.
My brother, I didn't go because I think I could handle it. And they're buried next to each other in the Veneta, cemetery. I was gonna go Memorial Day, but it was raining and I wouldn't bother. I just want to put some roses on their graves, fake ones that last forever. But
right. Yeah.
That was my mom's favorite.
How do you? What's your? This is certainly a question from someone that I've never experienced auditory hallucinations myself. But
what's your diagnosis?
I have a dissociative disorder. The voices I have are inside my head, not outside. So I don't hear them.
They're inside. Yeah.
No, but I don't. There's no auditory aspect of them. I don't hear them. It's other people's thoughts in my head.
Oh, okay.
What's your relationship with the voices like?
I don't hear them that much lately though.
Yeah.
My meds are mostly. I've been on the same ones for 10 years, and they're mostly gone. Because through therapy, coping, good support system network.
Right. I think a lot of people I think there's a lot of people that are woefully misinformed about what like schizophrenia and what like bipolar is really like. I mean, which is really surprising because I feel like I've met a lot of people who have that diagnosis.
Yeah, I mean, even Anna Marie, I mean, Lawrence. I mean,
I think I think it's actually more common than people
Oh,
thought.
bipolar is, I don't know, I used to know a number. I actually have, I used to be that bad. It had the 988 number. 988 had a statistic of saying, oh, this many have this mental illness.
Yeah.
So it's more common. I mean, black people in America is only about 13% of the population, and I could not know how many of us actually have a mental, we have all this baggage, everything else that happens in this country.
Right, yeah. Well, and it all compounds, right? Like, the more things happen, the harder you have to work to get to places that people that don't have all that stuff to try to grapple with can just kind of walk right up to and do without much trouble at all. And that's actually one of the things I really respect about you is that, like, despite all of the stuff that you have to work through as a person and all of the, like, barricades, the thing that helps you cope with the world is your art and your writing and the stuff that you make. And you're just relentless about it.
Well, like, my mantra is my creativity will save me from insanity, because it has.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be my first album. Whenever
I think that was the thing I was struck about you before I really got to know you was that, like, you're working on your comic and you're making albums and, like, you have all these books and, like, you're working on a series of acrostic poems.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, yeah, but, like, you're doing it with this regularity that just I think is kind of rare in the world of not professional as in not making your living from it artists.
Well, I'm gonna have to be a day job. I'm okay with it. I mean,
that's fine. Like that's the thing is
I'd love to make Stephen King numbers, but
I feel like you're gonna be creating until you literally can't anymore.
Yeah. Well, you ever heard the song? A$AP Rock? He's got a song called No Regrets. It's my favorite song because it's so straightforward. None of his weird, mysterious. He's just talking about a girl she just does what she wants to Lucy. She does what she wants to do. You heard the song? It's on Labor Days.
No, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 4 minutes, and he just talks about, she's like, a dream is the one you still wanted to do but haven't pursued. I knew what I wanted. I did it till it was done. So I've had the dream since day one. Something like that. It's fantastic.
That's great.
I didn't discover him until about 05-ish. But yeah, like once I discovered him, I was like, yeah, nobody's touching this guy.
Have you ever, something that I've heard from BIPOC, like Black Indigenous people of color and like Hispanic people that I've met, is that there's like a really heavy emphasis on like macho masculinity.
Oh yeah, like, the bravado. Yeah.
And I feel
performative like, toxic masculinity.
Yeah. And it seems to me from an outside perspective, like being honest with yourself about mental health and like coping with those more sensitive aspects of like your sexuality and trauma, classically, it's like kind of are in opposition to a lot of that. Like,
it sort of clashes because you're not putting on a performance. This is just the authentic me.
Right. How did that ever like affect your ability to socialize with other people in your community?
Well, I mean, I got into a fight in high school, but what I always tell people is they were G Unit, I was Wu-Tang. Guess who's still around? They had a residency in Vegas, man. Like, you ever watched the show on Hulu, The American Saga?
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I hope I get a DVD really, but it's only on Hulu right now. But tell the story.
When did you start working on your comics?
Like middle school. I don't have the old ones anymore, but yeah, middle school. Their first character I made was Crazy Cat. It was a rapping cat. That's K's with a cat. And yeah, I didn't really like it that much, or I shared it around the class sometimes with people, and they're like, it's just a rapping cat. I might bring him back. I don't know. Well, there's a rap battle episode every season, just to have fun.
That's fun. Yeah.
This is before epic rap battles began to think. I was like, crap, now everybody's thinking I'm ripping them off if I do it.
Did you share them with people around school?
Yeah, just around school. Like DeviantArt, I learned about like my senior year, but I forgot about it for a long time during all this mental turmoil.
Yeah,
until a friend reminded me, DeviantArt. Yeah, how about you try Webtoon? I'm like, okay. So it's out there. I mean, I have like a few followers. I haven't kept up with it, but yeah, there's like 6 different comic book series, but only 5 of them connect. The Pudgy Chronicles is its own separate thing. But that's where it was the Misadventures of Pudgy and Gra, but because it's Billy and Mandy, it was, that one. But like, it's too long. I have to do all my logos, so we'll just have a shorter name.
Right.
Like, I mean, even I'll show the latest logos. If I stupid iPad is gonna not be slow on me. Because unfortunately, I lost my crap. Yeah, let's do that out. Okay. And back to Procreate, and then this is like the latest logo. Yeah.
The Pudgy Chronicles.
Yeah, I just do different logos. I do different logos. Basically, whenever the logos are like, I'm working on something. If I do a logo, it means I'm working. I have ideas. Like, I'm working on the second episode of the second season, but it's gonna be longer and like try to tell better stories.
Cool.
And still be funny.
I like that. Something I'm curious about for you is that you're, so you've come to terms with your sexuality recently, in terms of like the span of your life, relatively recently. What's your, now that you're aware of like who you are, or rather now that you've kind of put a name to a face in terms of parts of your identity,
eyes without a face, like Billy Idol.
What do you want to do next with that in terms of where you take your life?
I guess probably maybe. I mean, I'm sorry I missed the other Pride events. If I didn't know, I'd like to go more events like that because I've never been.
Yeah.
Blake in there, like I think she's also bisexual. Like, just meet up with more queer folk. I mean, that's mostly
just do more things. Yeah, and I think it's
because I wasn't really allowed to living in Veneta. No, you gotta keep that on lie. It's not safe.
Yeah,
like you got, I don't know. I called it 35 flavors of Christianity. I'm sure there's more, but like it's not cool. But then I see like my friend Kia, she posted like she's trans, and she posted like, oh, here's a church. And they said, oh, the gay agenda is fine as it is. Let them be alone or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't happen like 2006 or whenever my friend first came out the closet. Right. So I guess there's a little bit of progress, but
so it was like a totally different world now than the one that you.
I haven't been since my mom passed away, so I don't know. I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. They're like, Antwon, like, no, I missed you so much, and I'm like, nah, same, I guess. They'd be like, oh man, like you've been baptized, and it's like, yeah, when I was like 12. It's like, you'll be all right. And I'm like, okay. Like,
wow. So it sounds like it really is like an extremely religious community out there.
Any small town, it's gonna be like 90% white people usually, and they're all religious, and you guys have the WASP thing.
Oh sure, yeah, we do. You mentioned all black towns earlier.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, there's a few. Taft is one of them. There's about, was it 13? I forget the other ones. I don't know if they're still around.
I should know this. I hung an exhibit of all black towns for the Center for the
Well,
Humanities.
I follow this one page on Instagram. They talk about it. I forget the channel. Once I find it, I'll have to like send you a link or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's driving me crazy.
Because it's just like forgotten history. I mean, like that goes along. This is Black Wall Street. I didn't know about that until college. I didn't know about that in high school. We had Oklahoma history. We're talking about Jim Thorpe doing a decathlon, and he's in Pennsylvania. How
did you feel when you learned about the massacre?
I was just like, I'm right here. Like, this is not that far from me. Why this is hidden? Like, why are y'all hiding this?
How old were you?
I was probably like 9. Well, I was college 18, 19, 20. I think I learned about right around the time of the Army. So.
Wow, that must have been like.
I was just in the library, like getting lost in books, and.
So no one told you. You found out on your own.
Yeah. Well, then I think. Well, my mom might have known, but I don't know if she was ready to tell me at a certain point.
Was it a surprise?
Yeah. It was a big surprise, and it's not even the only one. It happened in Philly, like I think other places.
Yeah.
But I think the Tulsa one. And I wonder, like, if that's why some people don't come to Tulsa. Because, like, I'll be looking at some of my favorite artists. I'm like, they don't come to Tulsa. I'm like, is that why?
It might be. Yeah. I mean, Tulsa just recently is kind of on the map in terms of places to be.
Oh, yeah. Sure. We got the Tulsa King. We got the Res Dogs. Right. I haven't seen that much Tulsa King, so I don't know any stats. Slice alone.
Me neither.
I've seen the first episode, and I thought it was kind of funny that he was like he had a black friend, and he was trying to make sure that Stallone was fighting for the black friend. He wasn't like letting him get taken advantage of. So I like that part of it.
Yeah. So you're 36 now.
Yeah.
And you're still going strong with your music and your writing.
I have 3 songs off of an EP. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a man can only do so much with his time, right?
Yeah. I'm done with college now because I didn't do the associates all the way, but I did most of it at TCC. I mean,
nice.
I'm gonna check the JLPT in December, the lowest level, just to have that on my resume.
Good.
Because they said you only need like 100 kanji. I'm like, I know like 300 maybe.
So in terms of like art style, I want to talk about like the actual craft a little bit. What are your
my actual influences?
Yeah, like what? Because everybody I know who's like an artist
Yeah,
like a visual artist. They all have like a focus. Like some people, it's like replicating natural structures, and some people, it's like being able to draw like real life the way it is exactly.
Yeah, it's hyper real.
If I had to guess, your style is like half comic books and half like anime.
I don't have that many anime drawings actually. I can show you. No, not really.
What would you say your like inspirations
my biggest inspirations are Salvador Dali and MC Escher.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Like those are my biggest inspirations.
I love MC
I mean, like this is probably one of the only anime ones. This is Athena from crap. Go back. No, don't do that. What are you doing? This is Athena from King of Fighters. This is after I got 98 followers on DeviantArt. Yeah, that's Athena Asamiya. A lot of people hate her because she goes Psychobaru, but that's Psychoball. It's that one, and then even a deeper cut that most people probably don't know is Asuka 120% because it's a Japanese only series. Where'd it go? Yeah, here she is. Karina Toyota because she fights with a frog that lights on fire.
What?
They've never been released outside of Japan. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I love her. But those are about the only. No, there might be one. There's it's Loop Salad. But that's another only in Japan thing. But I talk about that in my books.
So, and in terms of writing, what are your like big influences?
I mean, I really like Randall Kennedy. He writes about race like in a very like efficient and like not condescending way. Like he's a teacher at Harvard, I think, or one of the higher schools. I had some of his books. Like I got a Sellout for free, and that one's talking about how Sellout is not really a real concept. It's just kind of a scapegoat thing that we throw on people without, holding them accountable for the rights and wrongs that they've done. It's great, but I had to read that. I had to check other ones. He had about like interracial relationships, or adoptions and all this racial passing and all this stuff.
Cool.
I've only written like one freaking poem about race called, I think I shared it with Mick. It's called Melanin Envy, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone should be obligated to write about all of the things that they've been through if it's not something that like feels necessary.
Yeah, like I have one. I'll show you. I'm working on a sci-fi trilogy. The first book is done. Well, it's a novella. They're all novellas, so they're not too long. But yeah, there's the pudgy characters. Where'd you go? Okay, that's this comic that's based after Mental Mosaic. Where'd you go? It's green and orange. Yeah, the alphabet. Yeah, this is the first cover of Great Dystopia, so that's the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Catalina on the left and Derek on the right. Catalina is a meteorologist, which is becoming irrelevant in 2050, and then firefighter. So she's trying to like do producing, the news station, and it's in a town that's out. It's in between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, because I literally started writing it right when I came back here in 2016. So it's like I don't remember everything, so I'm just make shit up.
So you've been in Tulsa since 2016?
No, I've been in Tulsa since 2021. Yeah. I was in Veneta, from 2016 to 2021-ish,
What made you come out here?
Jobs. Yeah, I graduated, and I'm like, well, all the jobs are going to be here. There's nothing in Veneta, like, unless you're doing fast food or, like, medical, and I don't do medical, so.
Yeah, right. Is there, like, a...
You want to show that?
Oh, yeah, right. And so this is the cover of...
Great Dystopia, first of a sci-fi trilogy.
Dope. Awesome. Well, so there's a few questions I've been asking everybody in some degree or another. The first one is, if you could change anything about the queer spaces that you've experienced yourself, what would you change?
I don't know. I mean, like just what do you call it? Well, before we get...
Oh, our collicule?
Yeah, that's what I'm like... I wouldn't change nothing. Like I'm 100% in it, man. But I need to go to the Pride events and see other things. What's in October?
In October,
that's the literature thing.
Oh, LitFest out in Durant, Oklahoma.
Durant,
yeah, that's what Don's organizing.
Yeah, I definitely want to make it out there. Especially I have enough time. I can do my paperwork. I'll be there.
The next question I've been asking everybody is what's one coping skill that you've used a lot in your moments of like being isolated from other people that's really helped you survive? I
mean, it's mostly music and writing. I mean, they kind of go together. It's not like I take the words out if it's just like some classical or Miles Davis or whatever.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's too much when I'm having a manic episode to focus on the words because this happened like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, just instrumental music that I vibe with, and just I was driving, and it's like everything was in slow motion, so I could like focus and like not be overwhelmed by what was going on. Like my friend Lane, she was Pet Shop Boys, and there was this one song called "Leave," and I'm like, that beat is, yep, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
And Neil's a good looking man, lead singer.
Let's see.
Like he's gay, or bi, I can't remember. But
there you go. So another question I've been asking, not everybody, but where do you want to be in like 10 years?
I mean, I'm fine with being here. I just want more success. Not like the kind of success where I can't go out in public, but just like, you know, to be comfortable. That's all I really want.
Yeah, right.
And I'd like to just travel more. You know, I have a passport, but I haven't been outside of the country. Like not even in the army. No, I just traveled through most of the states. Because the only war I fought was up here, and I won.
Yeah, right. Gosh, how do you think you would have handled actually being deployed?
Yeah, when they asked me if I wanted to go like several times, but they were, oh, you were on your medication long enough. Well, you probably shouldn't do it. I'm like, I'll take your word for it. Now the money would have been nice. Probably could have bought a house and a car because the money's good, but I didn't want to be away from Adriana again because we were long distance for a whole year. I didn't want to do it again.
Right. Yeah.
Because I only text her, and it's like, this is not enough of a relationship. Like, I need to hear the voice. I need to feel. And I'm like,
what's your relationship with like other vets?
Alf is another one Alf's the main one I know around here. I don't talk to my cousin that much. That was, my dad, like, he sent me this VA iPad. So it's not super, like, interconnected. Because after I moved away from Pennsylvania, I don't talk to anybody from there. Even though I love most of my sergeants are great.
Oh, but so we were talking about your relationship with other vets.
I mean, like, it's sort of spotty, though, because it's like, you know, we have Don't Ask, Don't Tell that was like in for a while, so like, we couldn't even come out the closet. Like,
yeah.
One of my favorite songs, you ever heard of J Live?
No.
He's from like Brooklyn, Philly, that area, but he's got a song called Undivided Attention. Another earworm, just look it up. He says, they fight and they hide, why the fuck they gotta hide? Why they fight and they die, why the fuck they gotta hide?
Love it. Yeah.
And this is like 2010, I think he came out with that. Like, one of my top 5 rappers of all time. Fantastic.
So to close things out, where are some places that people can find your work? Because you've got a lot out there.
Most of it's on DeviantArt. I'm trying to throw more things on Instagram.
What do they search for on DeviantArt to find you?
I mean, it's just Mr. Tangent. It's all lowercase. Mr. Tangent 0081.
And both of your books are on Amazon?
Yeah. Yeah, both of them on Amazon. We have another website called Creations of Antwon, but I don't think it's done yet. My friend Brian does web development. He's like, I'll do it for free, man. I'm like, I'll pay you eventually. Everybody needs a living wage. Like, don't undersell your work. Like, we all gotta get what we
What are the 2 books called? The first one is Mental Mosaic.
Mental Mosaic. Yeah, they're in my car, I think. I don't have them. Well, there's a poster right on my door.
What's the second one?
Emerging Identity.
Emerging Identity.
It's also this identity.
Identity. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of, it's a theme with some of my artwork because I have eyes in a lot of it, and I might have told you this on the phone, but it's like eyes are windows to the soul, so I'm gonna invite you to look within my soul with my artwork.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think you make art for other people, or do you make it for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's always got to. I think there was a Rick Rubin question I saw in an interview about it. You should do it for yourself first. If other people like it, then cool, but. It's like, come on, when Andre 3000 was doing them flutes, like, he wouldn't know because he ain't rapping a long time. It's like, here's like an hour or 2 hours of flutes. Like.
Right, yeah, totally. All right, well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in this project, and I'm so glad that we get to kind of talk about this stuff, and I hope that more people interact with your work, because I think it's really neat.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to Lit Fest in October. It's in Durant. I'll be there. So I'd like to meet more people. I don't maybe sell more books and art.
Okay.